Hi, I'm Goose, and if you're in your mid-40s like me, or even older, chances are you've started to feel things catching up with you physically. Feeling stiff in the mornings when you first get out of bed, or those small aches and pains from past injuries, and sometimes just a little bit of fatigue. Unfortunately, the thing is, that's how most of us over 40 feel. And unless you do something about it, it's only going to get worse. Although I feel like this occasionally, it's only when I overdo it. Like when I forget that I'm not 25 anymore and I'm not bulletproof. The majority of the time, however, I feel better than I did in my 30s. This is because I realised that to stay healthy well into my 50s, 60s and beyond, I needed to train smarter. I realised that I couldn't train like an athlete anymore, or at least not without making serious changes to the way that I did train. And that's when it hit me. I didn't actually need to train like an athlete anymore. I realised that I didn't need to be the fittest, strongest person in the room anymore. I just needed to be fit enough and strong enough to do the things that I wanted to do for as long as I could. I want to be able to move freely, when my grandkids eventually do come along. I want to be able to do the things that I enjoy doing in the outdoors, hiking in the mountains, hunting, fishing, swimming in the ocean, all that kind of good stuff. And I want to be able to do it without ever feeling like I'm going to get myself injured or that I'm going to overdo it. So I decided to make that a reality. So I started training smarter, and I soon realized that I could actually get stronger and grow more muscle even after 40. And what I found was that it wasn't just about maintenance of the strength levels I already had. I found that I was actually able to improve. So my focus then switched from training using complex programs designed for athletes that required, the purchase of a whole bunch of expensive equipment or a gym membership to, simple, effective bodyweight type training, all right, aka calisthenics, supplemented with some basic equipment, so kettlebells, sandbags, a pull-up bar, that kind of stuff. Basic equipment that doesn't cost a fortune and allows me to train at home. The beauty of training like this is that most of the exercises are attainable or achievable and accessible to everyone because they can be done easily at home with minimal equipment, and they can be easily scaled in terms of their level of difficulty. Okay, so they can be made to be easier or more challenging really easily. Okay, and like I said, you don't need a lot of equipment, if any. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. It doesn't matter if you exercise regularly or not. It doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, 60. Training this way is beneficial and is likely to increase not only your lifespan, but importantly your health span. And if you don't know what a health span is, essentially it's the period of time that you stay, injury and disease free. Okay, so you might live to 90, but if you spend the last 20 years of your life, being looked after and not able to look after yourself, then those last 20 years aren't high quality years, you know what I mean? Whereas health span, we're talking about, out of those 90 years, you might get to 85, 88 before you have to slow down. So improving your lifespan and your health span is really important. And strength training and training in functional fitness will get you there. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. It doesn't matter if you exercise regularly or not. And if you fit into that latter category, it's okay. What I've learned is that it's never too late to start improving your functional fitness so you can grow older while still being able to do those things you love doing. Whether that be chasing your kids or grandkids around, roughhousing with them, hiking with friends, or whatever. I have found great success with basic compound bodyweight exercises like push-ups, dips, pull-ups, and squats. And I know that you can too. And that's what this channel is all about. It's about becoming what I would describe as an everyday athlete by exploring functional fitness. It's about doing exercises, functional movements that are relevant to the things that we need to do every day, like picking things up off the ground, getting our cells up off the ground, and the way that the human body moves. So it's about sharing what I've learned on my own journey towards functional fitness or achieving functional fitness, and hopefully I can motivate others like yourselves who are also in their 40s, 50s, maybe even older, to follow a simple but effective functional fitness program that will enable you to continue to move the way you want to move, right through your older years. So if this message resonates with you, subscribe to the channel, because you know what they say, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.